There's a town called Mäntsälä in southern Finland with a distinct feature. It heats itself using data centers. For over a decade, server heat from a facility 5 kilometers away has been piped directly into homes. Last year, it covered 2/3 of the town's heating needs. The source? Servers, processing emails, web searches, video calls, and more. Data centers generate enormous heat, and for most facilities worldwide, that heat gets vented straight into the air, wasted. Every server farm you've ever relied on for streaming, storage, or AI has been quietly heating the atmosphere around it. Mäntsälä was one of the first places to harness it instead. And Finland kept going. In 2022, Microsoft announced a major data center region outside the capital city. Energy company Fortum committed to capturing every watt of waste heat those servers produced and routed it to homes in neighboring cities. 250,000 people warmed partly by the internet. Fortum is spending 225 million euros on the infrastructure to make it happen. They call it the world's largest data center waste heat recovery project. This doesn't work everywhere, however. Server heat comes out at relatively low temperatures. To inject it into a district heating network, you need heat pumps to raise it to a usable level. Those heat pumps run on electricity. In Finland, that electricity is cheap and largely renewable. So the energy cost of upgrading the heat is low enough to make the whole system worthwhile. In Germany, researchers at Border-Step Institute calculated that data centers produce enough waste heat to warm 350,000 homes. But higher electricity prices make the heat pumps expensive to run. And even where the economics works, data centers and heating networks don't often overlap geographically. The heat exists in one place and the pipes in another. What works in Finland doesn't automatically work in Germany. Another thing to note is that Microsoft isn't doing this out of goodwill. They're selling the heat to Fortum, who sells it to residents. It's a 3-way commercial agreement, and that matters because the incentive doesn't depend on policy or altruism. It depends on data centers growing, which they will. Every new service Microsoft launches creates more revenue from the generated heat. The infrastructure Fortum is building gets more valuable the larger Microsoft grows. The problem and the solution are scaling together. It started with one town in southern Finland, and now it's a blueprint.